Hey guys, I'm headed on another adventure. Today I'm going to St. Louis and we're going to go see the Gateway to the West. It's an archway and I'll tell you more about it when I get there. But before we go, you have to make sure you know what a pioneer is. Pioneer. You might have already studied about pioneers, or you might have read books about Laura Ingalls. Her family was a pioneer family. So if you remember, last time I went on an adventure, we learned about the Native Americans. And if you remember, when the Pilgrims came to the New World, the Native Americans already lived there. Now, after a while, more and more and more people, like the Pilgrims, came to the New World. And they started building towns and cities and roads, and it kind of started getting crowded. And more people were coming, and they wanted big farms, they wanted to hunt, so they needed lots of space. They needed lots of land. People who moved west away from the big cities to get more land were called pioneers. And the place where we're going today is called the Gateway to the West because that's where lots of people started going west. And we'll learn more about the pioneers moving west when we get there. See you soon! So I just got here right along the Mississippi River in St. Louis, and I saw something super cool. I have to cross the street to show you. It's a kind of boat that the pioneers would ride on to go west. Now, obviously this is a newer version of the boat, but it looks really similar to the old kind. It's called a steamboat. It's right over here, right there. In the back, you can see the turbines moving. A long time ago, that's what made the steamboat go. And I think you'll learn more about that in school. So this is the Mississippi River, and it looks so big. You might think it's the ocean or a lake, but how do we know this is a river? Well, rivers have a current, so the water is traveling down, and that's called flowing. And I'm going to try to pick up this stick right here and see if we can watch it flow down the river in the current. So let's see. Oh, see, it was right there. Now it's going down the current. Definitely a river. Bye, stick. There's the archway. So this gateway, the pioneers did not build the gateway. This is a monument, which means something that people build to remember something. This is a monument that helps us remember the pioneers when they came from the east and they went to the west. It's kind of like a bridge, east to west. And that's why it's the Gateway Arch, and that's why it looks like a bridge. So I'm a little disappointed because the Gateway Monument has a museum underneath it, and it shows you about the pioneers, but it's closed because they're remodeling it and making it better. So I couldn't go in there and learn anything or show you guys about it. I've been in there a while ago when I was young, and it was really, really cool to learn about the pioneers and the people who moved from the east to the west of America. But it's okay because where I live in Missouri, there are more museums and things to show you about the pioneers. But I did go into the visitors center in the store, and I filmed a little bit of the things that they have there to teach us about pioneers. So in this video, we'll still learn a little bit about pioneers. In the top right, you can see the picture of Thomas Jefferson. He was a president who bought land in the West. It was called the Louisiana Purchase. The first people to explore the land gotten in the Louisiana Purchase was Lewis and Clark. Sacagawea was a Native American who helped them. Then pioneers could come to the West in covered wagons to live. This is a book that first graders who were pioneers would be able to use to read. St. Louis was an important city for pioneers. They came on the Mississippi River on steamboats to St. Louis because that's where they could start going west. It was called a jumping off place. They could jump off to the west because they could buy wagons and other supplies that they needed. And from St. Louis, they could pick a road to travel on to the west. Here's a picture of a jumping off place. See all those wagons going west? So a jumping off place means a city that pioneers went to start their journey west. Maybe they came there from somewhere else, but that's where they really started going west on their covered wagons. They jumped from the east to the west.